Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.
Hi, this is Poop and More Poop.
Well, all right. Welcome back to the Survival and Basic Badass Podcast with Kevin and Chuck. Today, we're going to talk about prepping for the unknown. There's a lot of things like we all want to be prepared. You want to be ready for everything. You know, you never know what surprises are going to be around the corner and when something unexpected is going to happen. And obviously, we can't prepare for everything, but you always want to be moving and getting in the right direction, you know, where, you know, you're a little bit more on top of it, a little better. And that's what this is all about. So, like, the way I was thinking about this is, you know, we've had these hurricanes and stuff lately, you know, winter's coming up and you never know when your car's going to get stuck in the snow or, you know, when you're going to be, you know, anything, even just, oh, now I'm going to be late for work because my car won't start. I go out and the battery's dead and, you know, the unexpected. And we all want to be a little bit better for that kind of thing. I mean, that is why we prep. That's why we're preppers.
Now, I know a lot of preppers, a lot of you guys even listening to the show are lunatics. You know, you guys are convinced the economy is going to collapse like Chuck is.
Yeah.
You're, you know, concerned about the electrical grid collapsing with
EMPs.
Nuclear
carrier
winter.
groups hanging out off North Korea.
Right.
Who knows what could happen?
But a lot of prepping, I think, it involves more low key events.
But you did hear about that North Korea is making a submarine. Did you hear this?
North Korea.
North Korea.
I heard that they're hiding their submarines underwater.
No, that was China.
Oh, China. Okay.
China decided to hide all their submarines in the ocean so no one can find them.
There seems like you know, the obvious place to hide something like a submarine, though. I don't.
That might not even be hiding. That could just be
that's just where they are.
Yeah,
I feel like most of U.S. submarines are probably in water also.
Yeah, we hide them in the ocean.
But hey, listen, I'm not a
all right.
strategist.
But
when
you were
going to
say most of the things
global warfare,
aren't
but
North Korea. There might be something else we might prepare for.
Well, I'm saying that I think most of the preparations that we really need to be ready for are the you know, the snowstorms, the hurricanes, the power's out for 4 days, the
burglar,
the grocery store, you know, the burglar, exactly. Things that are you know, a lot less catastrophic and a lot more likely to happen.
Right. No, and that's they really are likely to happen, and that's it. You know, having a little extra bag in your car because you might slide off in the road. And even if, all right, you're not in the unexpected ditch in the snowstorm where you're there for 4 days and you have to camp out. But what about when your car slides off in the road and you're stuck on the side of the road with your car not running, no heat, a foot of snow around you, and you're there for 2 hours till the trooper shows up?
Right.
Is that cool when you and your kids are sitting there and it's 30 degrees in the car
30 degrees,
or 25 degrees in the car?
I was actually just listening to or reading some a report about a 911 call.
Okay.
Where the 911 operator got a call
right.
from a car that had slidden off the side of the road. Nobody was hurt. Everybody was, you know, was safe, and they climbed up the embankment and back onto the road. And then the phone call cut out because somebody slid in the exact same place and killed all those people that had climbed out of their car.
2 nights ago, that happened here.
Yeah.
Not quite the same scenario, but an old man, 78 years old, ended up hitting a deer.
Mm-hmm.
Gets out. Oh, I'm going to go check on the deer. Or maybe he wasn't a nice deer checker. Maybe he was like, oh, which I don't know what you're going to do when you check on a deer. You just got hit by a freaking car. What are you going to do? Field,
Right.
Surgery?
Well,
or,
I mean, you might have to put it down or
but
check
maybe
your
he's
truck.
looking at the damage on his car. Maybe it's like, oh, my car won't drive. I better go, see if I can dislodge the bumper or whatever. I don't know. Gets out of the car, and then another car comes along and kills the old man.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, as much as you want to say, oh, that guy should have been looking and paying attention, but if the old man couldn't see the deer, that guy made the same exact mistake
Right.
that the old man did. There's not a difference. The point is, the unexpected can
Right.
happen.
And it's a big problem, especially where we're at here. We have a lot of blizzards where you might get stuck. There was a blizzard in Buffalo a couple of years ago that shut down the highway, and it was just bumper to bumper traffic. People in their cars, 20 degrees out, not going anyplace, and they ended up having to get together in cars and run it for, each car for 15, 20 minutes because they had been trapped there so long that they're running out of gas in all the cars. So, I mean, it's, maybe having those hand warmers and an extra hat and gloves in the bag in your trunk, maybe it's just something, handy to have. Better to have it than not have it. you
Yeah.
know?
No, that's it. And that's, that's why we prepare. And that's, one of the things, I wanted to talk about today and, just kind of go through some different scenarios, different things, what happens when you're all, sitting around, we'll say it's, it's winter time like now and, how it's dark around 6 o'clock, 5:30 even, depending where you live. And, hey, you're sitting at the table, it's maybe 35 degrees outside, and all of a sudden the lights go out.
Yeah.
And, crap, the power's out.
Shoot.
You don't really know why.
Mhm.
You don't know, is
Yep,
it
get
just
the
a tree
flashlights
fell
and the
on a line?
candles and
And,
see
you
what's
go
up.
through the game, but
Right.
not everybody's ready for the game.
Mhm.
And that's the problem.
Mhm.
And then people bring in the generator and they fire it up and, I shouldn't have put that generator in the living room.
inside the house. Yeah.
I don't know who, or, why I'll run the barbecue in the bathtub.
Yeah.
I had a customer or a guy do that, and he's like, not a customer. I do work for a apartment complex,
hmm
and I went there, and I guess somebody had died because they were barbecuing. They set the barbecue in their bathtub,
Mm.
and thought that was the place to smoke it up. And
Yeah.
sometimes you need a hot dog,
Yeah.
but it's a little too cold
Yeah.
outside.
You don't want to. Who wants to be outside when it's 30 degrees out?
Exactly.
That's chilly, man.
So, another thing, like, you have these people out in Puerto Rico. I know we mentioned Puerto Rico a lot in the last couple weeks and
We have.
the last like 3
But I
episodes.
think,
But I mean, it needs to be said. This stuff happens, and then you're like, oh, I need I want to stock up on water, and I want to stock up on food. But when you're on an island, everybody can't decide, hey, I need extra in 4
Right
days.
now. Right.
And maybe you don't live on an island. Maybe you live out in Montana.
Mhm.
Now, you know what? My guess is if you can handle the hardy cold in the Montana, you're probably somebody who's kind of prepared for unexpected storms and not being able to get out for 5 days.
You know what always strikes me
Tell me.
In the United States when you see these big storms is you always hear people saying things like, why wasn't the government faster?
Yeah,
Why weren't they faster at bringing food and water to all these people?
right.
So, that seems like a trending issue with natural disasters. If you've got one coming, you might think ahead of time they're not going to be so good at getting things here quickly,
Yeah.
So, that's one of the reasons why I think preparing is just common sense when it comes to issues like that.
And that's, that's where we try and keep you guys focused all the time is, getting ready for the whatever. But you're not going to be able to get it the day before. Where I'm going with all this is it's better to think about it now when you have months, years possibly to prepare for these things.
Right.
I can put the better locks on my doors. I can, do the things to protect my house.
Mm-hmm.
I can set. It doesn't. I mean, great. We want and we preach. You should have like a year food supply. I mean, this is where that prepper mindset, preparing for the end of the world. But if you don't have a week's supply of food or 2 weeks,
Yeah.
Then a hurricane could wipe you out. Any of these things could be where your babies are hungry and crying on the side of the road.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not cool. You never want to be the provider for your family. And that's where you're at, because you didn't have 2 weeks of food storage for your family.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, that's not right. Now, people are like, oh, water. Well, I'll just buy it before it's time. Well, I know you guys have heard me mention that water bob.
Mm-hmm.
You fill up the bathtub. I actually think it's 100 gallons.
Yeah.
And it's just a plastic liner, basically. It's a big plastic bag that you fill up with the faucet from your bathtub. But guess what? When the hurricane's coming, you fill up your bathtub, and it's got a hand pump, and it's $25 on their website. And whenever Amazon has it, it's usually $20. That's nothing. And if you just search Water Bob and go on their official website, they got them, and they're $25. So you don't have to go buy bottled water and 100 things. Now, you never know when that moment's going to happen in 1 second that, our water's contaminated and you're screwed.
Right.
I want you to have some gallon jugs and some stuff like that stored. That's even better. But the bare minimum, have something like this. I know in my house, I just stick it under the bathroom sink. It's behind the trash can, behind the whatever. Nobody even knows it's there and whatever, and I spent $25. But guess what? Well, one, I have a well, so I can control when my water goes out, because I have a generator and I have a well. So really, there's no possible scenario in my mind that I'm not going to be able to get that water out of the ground, because even when my electricity shuts off, I plug in my generator and I can fill up that bag. But I don't have to run my generator all day long so I can use water. I can run my generator for 10 minutes, fill up that bag, and then I have 100 gallons stored, and I used, 2 ounces of gasoline.
Right.
And now I can wait till 2 weeks when I burn through my 100 gallons and fill up another 100.
Yep.
I know I've mentioned to you guys in the past that they have those well buckets that you can drop down that, fill up with water. And you can do stuff like that that'll, you drop in your drilled well and pull up. They basically have a little plunger that lifts up as it goes down, so it fills with water. And then when you go to pull it up, the rubber seal's weighted so it drops down and plugs it so you come up full of water. Things like that. It's called prepping. It's being prepared. Having blankets. I know we had a winter survival episode way back, but I'm sure you guys, aren't going back to it, whatever, because winter's coming up. But that's what you need to be thinking. Hey, do I have a sleeping bag in my car? Do I have some blankets? Because even when you're sitting in your car, if it's 30 degrees, having a blanket in there is a lot cooler than not, or a lot warmer than not. So that's where I wanted to go with that. What else are you thinking?
Well, I remember before I got into prepping one year, one of these events actually did happen to me. Was at the house, snowstorm, unable to get anywhere. Power went out, and I was just sitting in the dark in a cold house. My wife and son got them, all together in the same room, had some candles, but I didn't have any heater.
Yeah.
I didn't have any, I had space heaters that run on electricity that you plug into the wall. That didn't work, know?
And it was, that kerosene heater buys you a lot. And you know what? It's $99 on sale and $129 when it's not.
Yeah.
They're not.
Or $20 at a yard sale.
Or $20 at a yard sale. I think there's 3 in my shed.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think they work. I think they make a lot of smoke. But we won't talk about that.
Yeah. We're not going to discuss that.
We're not going to talk about where the Chuck's prepping fails. That just sounds mean and hurtful.
Right.
Now, actually, I was listening to one of the radio talk shows. I think it was like Sean Hannity or something, and he had somebody filling in. A lot of times Sean Hannity has guests on there that just end up getting me upset and aggravated, and I'm yelling at the freaking...
I get aggravated by Sean Hannity.
See? That's what I'm... Well, yeah, I don't know. So anyway, I'm like, that's not right. Actually, I had Ben Shapiro was doing one of the shows the other day, and I heard it, and I was like, he was filling in for Mark Levin.
Okay.
And Ben Shapiro's pretty good. Actually, he has a lot of angst like Mark Levin, I think.
He does.
But anyway, So I thought actually that was a really well-suited choice.
Right.
Like, I mean, that's almost like you're not missing a beat.
I listened to them
They're
on this
not
podcast,
completely in line
Right.
politically, but they both have that same, like, you know? So,
What's wrong with everybody?
and the guy was filling in, was a former Navy SEAL, and I'm going to mess up his name because I don't really know, and it was like Mark Gillian or something like that. I don't know.
I don't know who he is.
And I'm sorry, and I don't mean to not give people credit, but whatever. So, bottom line, he had Elizabeth Smart on,
Okay.
who is that girl who was abducted out in California.
Right.
Now, she was 14 years old and was abducted for 9 months.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you guys don't know is a lot of the military people, they make, in order to prevent PTSD, they make a lot of effort to prepare your mind mentally to be able to disassociate things, to deal with violence and killing people and trauma and bad things happen, and like putting that in one compartment kind of thing, and then having the rest of your life. Now, obviously, it doesn't work. We have, completely, we have a lot of people, suicide, different things, that are a real issue, but they make effort to help you put your mind in a different place.
Right.
And associate things differently. I actually just heard a study that said that the government was really worried during the Vietnam War that all these guys were coming back addicted to, or all these guys were doing heroin over in Vietnam, and they were afraid we were going to have this huge problem when they all came back from the military, and they were blown away that a huge percentage of them, just as soon as they came back, they just never did it again, and it wasn't even a thing.
Right.
And they just totally, because it was like, well, when I'm at war dealing with the horrible, this is what I do and how I deal with it.
Right.
When
I'm
at home, it's not a thing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying people didn't come back from Vietnam addicted to heroin and have problems and whatever.
Yeah.
That's not my
Not
point.
not as bad of a problem
It
as
just
they were
wasn't
expecting.
like expected, because people disassociate, that's who I am there and this is who I am here. And so he was talking about, Elizabeth Smart. And one of the things, and the main reason I bring it up on this episode, is something that I'd never heard before. The guy was like, oh, well, how did the guy get in your house? How did they work it out? And she said something that kind of struck me, and I found a little odd. She said every single night when she's 14 years old, her and her dad walk around to every door and every window in their house and make sure that they're locked and that their family's safe.
You would think that would cover all the bases, right?
I am not that person, I gotta say.
Mm-hmm.
And I was blown away, and I'm like, who lives in a world where they do that, Now, again, they were in the middle of maybe city. I don't know. I mean, I think they were upper class, right?
Yeah, I think they were suburban. Yeah.
Suburban, and I'm a little surprised, but then again, it's definitely not as rural and, as me. Now, I have main entry doors that, with my wife, she does nag me to, hey, go check that door. It's the downstairs door locked. It's the upstairs door locked. And I do, and I go and check them. But I don't check every window and everything for the unexpected. And in her scenario, she said that what had happened was the mom had burned something cooking, because she said, oh, there was homework and all this other stuff going on, got distracted, burned something. The window wasn't wide open, but they left it cracked an inch.
Mm-hmm.
And to let the smoke keep kind of ventilating out of the house.
Right.
And it was just that. And apparently,
Just that inch, huh?
in my mind, now she didn't say this or add to it, I don't know. This is my interpretation at this point. The guy must have been watching for days, weeks even, waiting for the opportunity.
Right.
Oh, there's the weak link today.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, because what are the chances the one day you do it is the one day he happens to show
and
up?
she said it wasn't even like a ground level, easy to climb in window. It was like 10 feet up.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the obvious, oh.
And once they're in, they can go out any way they want.
Right. Then your options are limitless. But I mean, somebody who's that prepared, and then just one slip up and you open the door to bad possibilities. Also, I found, everything she said was just fascinating. She really, she overcame it like you wouldn't believe. She was talking about how, I went into it with this mindset of, she said, as a little girl, I always dreamed of, being like a princess kind of thing and having the dream wedding and like that. I don't think she thought of herself as a princess, but you know what I mean? She had the fantasies of every
girl that
used
age.
to be normal little girl of, I want to be, get married and whatever. And she said, when I got abducted, all the bad things happened to me and whatever. But then as soon as I was released from them, I was like, oh, thank God, I'm going to be able to have that dream. And in my mind, and right back to it. Because, so many times you hear about girls who are like afraid of, oh, I can't, go on with my life, or I can't date, or I can't because I'm ruined or whatever. Right. And she was like, I was like, oh, now the opportunity's here. And just really had that different mindset, which is amazing to me for a little kid to go in.
For somebody that age.
I mean, she was 14. She was 15 when she got returned home. And so, I mean, that to me was amazing and really fascinating. And she talked about, but these are the things that you prepare for. You want to be able to protect your family. You want to mentally protect your family. She has something called the Smart Foundation, where it's got a bunch of, I guess they're called Smart Talks.
Oh, yeah.
And they talk about kind of preparing your kids mentally and dealing with emotion and trauma and things like that. And, she had even pointed out, sometimes it's even better for somebody who's been through like divorce and stuff like this in their family, because they're used to things not being the fairy tale life.
Right.
They're used to, bad things can happen. Things can go wrong. Things can whatever. Because when you have the perfect life, you don't
see problem
it.
is a catastrophe,
right? And those are the things.
A flat tire for Paris Hilton is probably a completely different scenario than a flat tire for you or me.
Yeah, exactly. And so, I mean, that's part of this being prepared. So, what you guys have probably heard me and Kevin mention, we've been putting together a little course about being prepared. Who knew? And because you probably don't know this, but we refer to ourselves as the prepping badass. You probably heard that maybe once or twice over the
people. I think people have
mentioned
heard that.
it. Yeah. Okay. So, prepping badass. So we were like, hey, we really want to expand
Wait, I could be a badass. That's what I thought.
You thought?
And so I
badass?
I thought we could be badasses. One of the reasons I think both of us started doing this podcast is that how much we could learn about. You know what I mean? Just if you're trying to teach about something, you have to understand it a lot better than just a cursory, a basic understanding.
And that's, I mean, I think if it's been way back, you said about 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Over 100 episodes, right? So definitely it's been a while. But that was one of the things we talked about. And we're both veterans, both in the Navy, both, had a good time there and learned a lot of skills. But we're also not, Navy SEALs, commando. We're not counterintelligence specialists or, cool whatever.
Right.
But we're people who deal with life. But you know what? Over the 100 episodes, we research a lot of different topics. We're somebody who, we're people who love the outdoors. We go camping. We go, we do stuff. I was a Boy Scout for forever. Were you a Boy Scout?
I was never a Boy Scout.
Never a Boy Scout, but it's funny because Kevin goes camping just a little bit more than I do.
Yeah.
And, but that kind of stuff, we did the Boy Scout thing, or I did, and the military, boots on the ground. And, we definitely had some excitement and saw the world there. But also, like I said, we're not, wilderness survival school for 3 months or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But once we decided to make a commitment to prepping and survival and figuring stuff out, we've been learning and have taken courses and we've done different things, classes. We're learning stuff online. We're watching YouTube and we're talking with you guys.
Mm-hmm. I've learned a lot of stuff about prepping just from emails that I've gotten from people.
You guys have shared with us, videos you've sent us, different things like that. It's been growing. And so bottom line, 100 episodes, we built up a fair amount of knowledge. we have a pretty good understanding of prepping and survival. And obviously it's a continual journey and we're still learning. But what we did, so we were like, we really need to make a course to help people get there and get quick. And some of you guys are already, at badass level on being prepared.
Yeah.
You're right there with us, and maybe you were coming with the knowledge, and that's great. And some of you guys are just kind of getting into it after hearing this stuff, or you decided you were into it and you wanted to learn, and we were one of the, tools you came across.
Right.
And here you are. So we put together a course. It's called BadassMasterPrepper.com is where you'd want to go for that.
BadassMasterPrepper.com.
Badass Master Prepper.
All right.
So what it is we take you from novice to master as far as preparing, having all the stuff. Now, it's just like a 2-hour course here. It's not we're not teaching you all the life skills. You're not going to be an EMT by the end of it. You're not going to be a Navy SEAL by the end of it, possibly. I mean, I don't know, Navy SEAL training. I mean, this might be equal, but I'm not sure what they go through.
There's no requirement to stay up for 5 days straight by taking this class.
We don't try to drown you or anything. No.
You're good. You're good. You're completely safe.
All right. So it might be slightly different. So you might not be that badass, but as far as being prepared and having the shit you need for when stuff goes down, this course will get you.
Yeah, if you're interested in something about basic skills. Now,
and it's not even that. Basic skills we might cover in the course. We cover some of that.
Yeah.
But what we do is we got a bunch of different topics, and I'm going to pull it up right now because that's how cool I am.
I think something interesting that I saw the other day, my wife was showing me on Facebook a video of you talking and people, live streaming, I think.
Oh, it's scary.
And somebody put in the message, yo, that's what you look like?
Yeah, I almost cried a little bit.
I thought that was funny as hell. If you want to know what we look like,
this is the way
to do it.
And even if you just check out the course, you don't even have to get it to see what we look like because we're right there on the front page.
Are we?
Yeah,
nice.
So they don't have to be afraid.
Mm-hmm.
But bottom line, we got a bunch of different topics. So the way it works out, we talk about bug out bag, and we got it all, man. It's pretty awesome, actually. We talk about how to stock a bug out bag for your car, like a go bag kind of thing, like quick.
Right.
Everything you need in there. We go through probably everything you need and more.
Right.
We talk about what's basic and what's not. We then talk about a standard kind of bug out bag that you'd throw in your car and we're going to go and grab the family and we're out. We talk about the I'm going to go restart the world kind of bug out bag. Like, I got an axe and a kitchen sink in there and I'm ready, an extra faucet or something. All right, those were a slight exaggeration.
Right. But when you pack everything,
you get the idea.
Except for the kitchen sink, we actually had the kitchen sink.
We had the kitchen sink in the scenario. So we talk about that. All right, but then we talk about what extra things you might need to know and whatever if an EMP attack happened, how to build a Faraday cage, what supplies you might need if an EMP occurred. All kinds of cool stuff, walkie-talkies, different things like that, chargers and various things. But we actually show you the products that we have and we use. We go through first aid. Again, not really training you on first aid, but we're going to take you through every piece of gear you'd want and, what it's about and what it's for. We talk about the importance of packing things you know how to use, learning how to use the tools that you have, not wasting your money and, spending time on nonsense.
Right.
And instead getting right to the things that you need.
To me, about a lot of mistakes that preppers made that I've made is buying
the cool gear,
buying cool stuff.
Yeah,
that's
super
cool
expensive.
Stuff. That doesn't really just
that's
it
not
just
going to get
worth what you're spending on it.
No,
it's really neat, but there are some basic things that if you know how to use them and how to operate them, they can have a million different uses.
So I mean, this most of these items have been mentioned over our 100 and something episodes or different things we talk about. We also talk about natural disaster, what to do if there's a nuclear attack, all kinds of cool stuff. But basically, we put all this stuff together, we show it to you, and we basically get you prepared. So we condensed 100 episodes into, 2 hours of training. And the way we have it set it up is you sign up for this course once a week. We're going to talk to you about send you an email about like the new product that maybe, because I think the big thing is people get overwhelmed. Mm-hmm. They're like, oh, I need a year's supply of food. I need, whatever.
Right.
And I can't do all that. Or I can't spend $1,000 to make a bug out bag. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's unrealistic.
Right.
Nobody's going to just jump in and whatever. But here you can find out, hey, you know what? That's what's missing in my bug out bag.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's missing in my medical preps. That's what's missing, when I'm in my long-term food storage. Because it turns out going to, My Patriot Supply and buying a year worth of food, that's not the only step you should be taking.
Right.
You're missing some steps if that's what you have, prepared. So we go through everything to kind of cover it all in a crash course, but then it's also like a journey. A lot of people who do courses and different things online, you get like overwhelmed. You're like, there's 100 steps and I can't do it all. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to do it. And so we kind of set this up a little bit different. So the idea is you can see where you're strong and where you're weak. And then once a week, we're kind of, shooting you an email. Hey, this is the next step you should take. So it's an ongoing journey and process so that you keep getting reminded, hey, now I should take this step.
Mm-hmm.
And now I should take this step. And every day you get closer. And I actually have it set it up. It kind of takes you from lame ass all the way to badass.
Ooh,
and
fancy.
It's all your prepping level and how you get there,
Mm-hmm.
So badassmasterprepper.com is what we did. And, obviously.
I'm really interested in a lot of you guys checking it out, even if you are, a pretty advanced prepper.
Right.
Just because, I wanted to go into some more advanced stuff like winter survival, cooking, basic cooking over a fire when you don't have a grill set up or something like that, and you're out in the woods and you want to, have some steaks.
Well, now
I could set you up. I could teach you all about it, but
we want to know what you want to learn.
Yeah,
too.
Is it what I want to know is what I want to do is get a couple of critiques.
I like critiques.
And, maybe we can expand on this if people are interested in it and, go a little bit further than the initial course we have set up.
The cool thing is that we actually have it set up so that you do the course, go through it. Me and Kevin can actually go in and edit things out. If you're like, oh, you know what? You kind of screwed up there. And I really think if you had this instead of that, now, we're pretty good, but guess what? We don't know everything in the world. But you know what? We know 100 and something episodes worth.
Yeah.
And we've been in this game and paying attention. So we really take you through a lot, and we're going to get you prepared. We can edit it. We can change it. We're going to make things better. We're going to keep adding products and different things and show people what's going on. And like I said, these follow-up emails, too, are going to have some of the updates that you guys let us know and what's going on. But we also have another course coming up in the future where we're going to do Badass Master Survival, and that's going to be, some of these other steps that Kevin's talking about. He had some ideas of cooking, fire building, getting water outside, different stuff like that. We're putting that together. That's going to be, part 2, kind of, the next project. That's going to be the next course that we're offering. But if you guys shoot us emails about what's important, what you want to learn, we're going to get you there. But this is really the core foundation that's going to get you to where you want to be. You need the initial stuff, and it's not all about spending money. Mm-hmm. And it's not all about, whatever. A lot of this stuff is getting the right stuff and knowing where it is, putting
Right.
stuff in the right place. We talk about these kind of things. We actually cover, things. How do you shut the power off in your house in the right spot? Now, most of you're like, of course, I know where that is. What am I, an idiot? But you know what? There's people out there that don't. How
They
do I
don't know
shut
where
the
the
water
breaker
off
box.
in my house?
They don't know where the breaker box
How
is.
do
They
I
don't know
shut
where
the
the water...
gas off in
Yep.
my house when the stove, won't go off? Whatever.
Mhm.
These are things that, need to be covered. And we take you from zero to badass,
Mhm.
All the way there. And I don't know, I'm really excited about it, and I want you guys to check it out. I don't know, I was pumped. So,
It's exciting, man.
and if
Something
you
new.
don't want to, you don't want to venture out there, we're going to keep you learning. We also got excited, me and Kevin doing all these videos. We kind of little ready to expand our YouTube channel stuff coming up in the future too. There's a lot of different ideas we had and different things that, we could do there. So,
Yeah, also I wanted to say that you should, if you get a chance, email us at preppingbadass@gmail.com. I think
Right.
that I think that a lot of your input helps out with the direction that we bring the show.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, really, we want to shape our platform into what you guys want. I mean, we're here to benefit the group. We really want to make it about you guys. I've mentioned before, if you guys have things you want to express or do, like, hey, I have a small t-shirt company and I make cool t-shirts about this, hey, talk to us, because we'll throw it up there. We're not even out to, we're not out to take your money. We want to help each other. We're a community. And, EDC coffee guys, or the different, we're out to help each other, man. We're all on the same team.
Yeah, Spen Eye Blades has always been
Custom
one of my
knives. You
favorite.
saw that awesome.
Yeah.
Kevin got really excited about that. I know you guys saw pictures of that.
Yeah, I did
Awesome
some
knife.
when I went camping this a couple weeks ago up in northern Vermont.
A little
the knife I
machete
brought.
action.
That's the knife I brought, man.
All right. So, you get wild in the woods,
Hmm.
but that's the kind of thing. We want to really build a community and work together. So, badassmasterprepper.com.
Hmm.
You guys got to at least check it out, see what we look like, see what we're talking about.
Yep. And also check out our sponsors that helps out the show. If you want to check out EDC Coffee, you might have just missed the Black Friday sale, but they still have coffee.
Ace High Armory.
Uh-huh.
All different things. I always try and put them in the show notes.
Mm-hmm.
We don't like to bash you guys over the head with sponsors, and we try and keep, people who are appropriate for the audience,
Right.
things
right.
that
And
really
stuff we
relate
use.
to us. We're not going to ever do ads for audible.com or, we don't
Yeah.
play that game, because we're just out about helping each other and building the community.
That's
And
right.
That's what we want
And
to do.
I'd love to see some more people on the Facebook group if you haven't joined yet.
Facebook.com/preppingbadass.
Right. Check out the group.
and
We
the
have
group,
a lot of
right.
interesting stuff on there. And I'd like to see some of you guys posting. I know the $5 preps has been
A big hit.
one of my favorites
Murray
personally.
Mayhem, yeah.
Yeah, so that's if you wanna come check us out on Facebook, definitely get involved in the group. And again, email us at preppingbadass@gmail.com. And
Otherwise,
is there anything else you wanna?
I think we're good.
All right.
Stay safe, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Planning a fishing trip shouldn't feel like a full-time job. With FishingBooker.com, you can find and book the perfect fishing trip within minutes. FishingBooker.com connects you with trusted fishing captains around the world. Booking is fast, easy, and secure, with access to verified customer reviews, loyalty rewards, and around-the-clock customer support. Everything you need to book with confidence is in one place. So head to FishingBooker.com and start planning your next fishing adventure today.